Hello everyone, myself Dr. Pooja, and today I brought a very interesting topic in front of you, vitamin C. Now, all of you are hearing about vitamin C, that it can fight against corona. So many, myths are there which we people are discussing now also. Now, in this video of mine, I'm going to take what are the, you can say, important functions of vitamin C, because vitamin C is considered to be a very, very important antioxidant, and it plays a very important role in so many important mechanisms in our body. Now, so let's start with vitamin C. Now, this is also known as ascorbic acid. First of all, let's look at the chemistry of this. It is named ascorbic acid due to its anti-scorbutic properties. And it exists in two forms. One is L-ascorbic acid, another is dehydroascorbic acid. So basically, see, whenever we talk about any biochemical reactions, अगर हम देखें vitamins क्या कर रहे हैं हमारी body में, they are actually helping in catalyzing these biochemical reactions by functioning as coenzymes. And if we talk about a typical biochemical reaction, it is a redox reaction. Means if something is oxidized, the other has to be reduced. Simple concept is there. So this L-ascorbic acid is present in two forms, L and D. This is what is the stereochemistry all about. But if we see biologically active form of vitamin C, it is L, not D. One thing. And second is this L-ascorbic acid is easily converted into dehydroascorbic acid and vice versa. Means these two forms are interconvertible. Another very important feature about vitamin C is that except human beings, it is synthesized. But in human beings, it cannot be synthesized. Why? Because this enzyme is absent in our body, L-gulonolactone oxidase. Basically, what is happening is this ascorbic acid is synthesized by a pathway which is known as uronic acid pathway. Even though this pathway occurs in our body, but it is an alternative method of oxidation of glucose. It is yielding only glucouronic acid and not ascorbic acid. So in our body, obviously ascorbic acid, since it is not synthesized, it has to be provided from outside diet. Now, next slide, you can see here this is an interconversion. There is a conversion between ascorbic acid and dehydroascorbic acid. Then we come over to the functions of vitamin C. Now, vitamin C, the major important function is it is a antioxidant vitamin. And other functions which it is performing is it helps in the formation of collagen. It helps in the metabolism of iron. It is helpful in the metabolism of folic acid, tyrosine, tryptophan, in the synthesis of catecholamines, and yes, as an antioxidant. Now see, collagen formation, what we say, collagen is the most important connective tissue in our body. And vitamin C helps in hydroxylation of the major amino acids which are actually forming this collagen. Iron may, it helps in absorption of iron along with folic acid, because yesterday I told you that folic acid is a very, very important vitamin B9 which is helping in a single carbon metabolism. So folic acid needs to be in tetrahydrofolate form or dihydrofolate form. So there is interconversion between these two forms which is actually maintained by vitamin C. Then tyrosine metabolism, tyrosine and tryptophan, these are the two aromatic amino acids in whose metabolism this vitamin C is required. Synthesis of catecholamines. What are catecholamines? Catecholamines are actually epinephrine and norepinephrine, which are synthesized from tyrosine. The precursor of catecholamines is tyrosine, and vitamin C is used as a coenzyme. And if we see antioxidant, we know it prevents the formation of free radicals. This is what is the function of antioxidants. formation of free prevents. Right. Now, this is the first function of vitamin C, that it helps in collagen formation. I told you collagen is considered to be the most important connective tissue of our body, and it is synthesized. Endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, and ribosomes are the three important organelles which help in the formation of collagen. And it is actually protocollagen is converted into collagen, and there is post-translational modification of proline and lysine. Actually, this collagen consists of glycine, proline, and lysine. The repeats of these three amino acids are there. Now, proline and lysine are hydroxylated also. Means hydroxyl proline and hydroxyl lysine. Means this is their post-translational modification. And this is catalyzed by vitamin C. Or you can say, in other words, vitamin C helps in the hydroxylation of proline and lysine. And here you can see ascorbic acid is converted into semi-dehydroascorbic acid because these two forms are interconvertible with respect to one another. Similarly, iron is also required for this reaction. And that is why we say if there is deficiency of vitamin C, it leads to scurvy. Because in scurvy, major feature is defective collagen formation. Right. So the most important function of vitamin C is it helps in hydroxylation of proline and lysine in the presence of enzyme proline and lysyl hydroxylases. Then second feature I told you, it helps in the metabolism of iron and folic acid. So how it maintains that? It enhances the intestinal absorption of iron. And how it does it? By reducing the ferric to ferrous ions. Because it is helping in reduction of this. And when ferrous ions are there, obviously they will be efficiently absorbed. That is why we say कि in deficiency of vitamin C, there is decreased absorption of iron, which can lead to hypochromic microcystic anemia. Then second is in folic acid. It maintains this tetrahydrofolate in its reduced form, which is required for the maturation of RBCs. So obviously deficiency of this vitamin C will lead to megaloblastic anemia, just similar to that what happens in the deficiency of folic acid. So this is second very important function of vitamin C. Then third is it plays a very important role in the metabolism of tyrosine. Now you know what is tyrosine. Tyrosine is a aromatic amino acid which is synthesized by phenylalanine. Now once the function of tyrosine, phenylalanine and tyrosine is over, they are degraded. So this tyrosine is actually a very important amino acid in a sense that it leads to the formation of melanin in our body. This is one important function. It leads to the formation of triiodothyronine and tetraiodothyronine in our body. It leads to the formation of catecholamines in the body. And once its function is over, as per its fate, because tyrosine and phenylalanine are both glucogenic and ketogenic amino acids, it is degraded. So during the degradation of tyrosine, this intermediate is produced, which is known as para-hydroxyl phenyl pyruvate. This para-hydroxyl phenyl pyruvate forms homogenistic acid, and this homogenistic acid then forms fumaryl acetoacetate, which further forms fumaric acid and acetyl coenzyme A. So for this reaction, ascorbic acid is required. And deficiency of para-hydroxyphenyl pyruvate hydroxylase leads to one of the tyrosinemias also. So this reaction is again very, very important. Second reaction, I told you that tyrosine is required for the synthesis of catecholamines, epinephrine and norepinephrine. So here you can see tyrosine in the first reaction forms DOPA, which undergoes decarboxylation forming dopamine, and this dopamine is in the presence of monooxygenase and vitamin C is converted to norepinephrine, and this norepinephrine then forms epinephrine by methylation by methionine or CH3 group. But here we are talking about vitamin C. This reaction I have already discussed in my video on the metabolism of amino acids. So if you want to know the details of tyrosine metabolism, you can always see my video. So here, since we are discussing only about vitamin C, so you can say vitamin C is required for the formation of norepinephrine. So this is again a very, very important function of vitamin C. And this tryptophan leads to the formation of what? Serotonin. Now serotonin is what? It is a very important vasoconstrictor which helps in stimulation of the cerebral activity. So this tryptophan leads to the formation of serotonin, which stimulates the cerebral activity, or basically all the depressants and antidepressants act on serotonin. Once the function of serotonin is over, it is converted into 5-hydroxyl indole acetic acid in the presence of enzyme MAO, which is monoamino oxidase. So all the depressants, all the antidepressants actually act on this reaction. And vitamin C is required for the synthesis of 5-hydroxyltryptamine, which is nothing but serotonin from tryptophan. So these are the very, very important functions of tryptophan, and in which vitamin C is used as a coenzyme. Then after the functions, we come over to the deficiency manifestations. Now vitamin C deficiency, the most important deficiency manifestation is it leads to scurvy. Scurvy is there is defective formation of collagen. As I told you, during the hydroxylation, or you can say ki basically collagen helps the tooth intact. But when the collagen formation is defective, obviously it will lead to bleeding of the gums. It leads to chronic gingivitis. There is swelling of the gums and the blood starts coming out of that. So vitamin C is actually required for the proper, you can say, hygiene of the teeth. Then it can lead to weight loss also. It can lead to slow healing of wound. Again, the reason is what? Ki there will be defective collagen formation, which can also lead to osteoporosis. Then obviously common fatigue will be there and leading to joint pain. Skin rashes will be there, and then anemia will also be caused, because I told you it helps in the metabolism of folic acid as well as iron. Now these are some of the pictures you can see. This is a case of chronic gingivitis. You can see the gums, they have become swollen and yahan se the blood starts coming out. And bumpy skin is there and bruising of the skin is also there. So these are what? These are the common deficiency manifestations of vitamin C. Then we come over to the most important aspect, that is RDA, recommended dietary allowance, which is 45 milligram per day in children, 60 to 80 milligram in a day for adults, and in pregnancy and lactation 100 to 150 milligrams in a day. Now another very important thing I told you, ki hypervitaminosis. If we consume, there has to be a recommended dietary allowance for vitamin C. Agar hum kam lenge, obviously it will lead to the deficiency manifestations, and if we start consuming vitamin C in more amount, it can also lead to hypervitaminosis. Basically what happens is, This ascorbic acid is degraded to form oxalic acid or oxalate stones in kidney, because this is the catabolic product of vitamin C, which is soluble in water. But now when we are taking more amount of vitamin C, large amount of oxalate crystals will pass in urine, leading to deposition and accumulation of these oxalate stones. So there has to be a optimum concentration of vitamin C in our diet. Then we come over to nowadays, all of you know, we are sitting at homes just because of this COVID-19, which has been declared pandemic by WHO also. There are so many myths coming up with this. Some scientists are saying this, some people are saying this. So actually we are really confused. But the most common thing which is nowadays coming up is if we start using, if we start taking extra dosage of vitamin C, it can no doubt, fight with this virus to some extent. So basically, if we look at the function, if we look, what is vitamin C? Ascorbic acid is functioning as an antioxidant. Means it is preventing the formation of these free radicals, or it is actually preventing the cytokines, which are actually giving damage to the lungs. And cytokines are basically the small proteins which are released by the cell, which trigger the inflammation and respond to infections. So ideally vitamin C is functioning as a what? As an antioxidant only. And it is said that if we consume 1000 micrograms of vitamin C in our diet, obviously we are going to combat this virus. वैसे भी just now I told you कि vitamin C, whether we are taking in this form or that form, it is beneficial for our body. Then ideally, in this phase of COVID-19, we should say that we should build up our immunity. Those whose immune system is strong, they can actually, you can say, come up with this infection. So main is, these are some of the points which I am in general telling you that you have to maintain some things. Always consume a balanced diet that includes proteins, fruits and vegetables. Then blending fruits and vegetables into juices and making smoothies out of them. It is again a very good choice so that we can get lot of nutrients in our diet. Then another very important thing which is coming up is liposomal vitamin C. Liposomal vitamin C are coming in the form of tablets. It's nothing. It is simple vitamin C coated by lipid so that they will go to the target organ. That's it. Basically, though, it is vitamin C only. But just to have maximum absorption of this liposomal vitamin C, there are so many companies also which are making these liposomal vitamin C. The procedure, the dosage, everything is written on that. So it is what? It is a powerful antioxidant that is strengthening our body's natural defenses. It is combating free radicals and encourages the production of white blood cells to protect the body against infection. And overall, in a layman's language, I should say it is helping in building of the immunity. And obviously, if our immunity is strong, no virus can actually invade our body. And then good food source of vitamin C includes kiwis, oranges, lemons, limes, grapefruits, as well as raw vegetables like red and green pepper, spinach, leafy greens, vegetables, etc. So this is somewhat advice from my side कि if you consume a balanced diet, taking all the vitamins, taking a recommendatory dietary allowance of all the vitamins, in future you are not going to fall sick also. So this is all about my slide. This is all about my presentation of vitamin C. I hope you people are getting a kind of benefit from my presentation. So kindly subscribe to my channel and don't forget to give me the feedback of what all I have discussed. Now in my next video, I will be taking up with very, very important topic, which is actually very important, molecular biology. So bye for now. Take care. Have a good day. Thank you so much.